Welcome back to another segment. Today I'm going to be concluding my conversation with actor Patrick Labyorteaux, who played Andy Garvey on Little House on the Prairie and also spent 10 years on the series Jag. So please welcome back Patrick. I know you have done some writing and some producing. So have you also directed? What sort of other,
Just the writing. I haven't directed. I'd love to direct, but I haven't. I've written a couple of movies. My wife and I, Tina, we created a TV show called See Dad Run, which ran on Nickelodeon at night, Nick at Night, for 3 years. And it was a sitcom about a television star who's done with his TV show and comes home and he has no idea of how to be a dad. So he kind of acts like the dad that he played on TV to try to raise his kids. And hilarity ensues. And so that was a great experience to run that show. And again, we shot that at Paramount, and we're on the same stage as Happy Days was, as Citizen Kane shot on the same stage, and See Dad Run. So it's like it's kind of, again, one of those things where you're like, I can't believe that we're here. My wife and I had the same office that Gene Roddenberry had when he ran Star Trek.
Wow.
And so it's like, it's a dream come true. Yeah, I could see the Hollywood sign from my window. But yeah, so I'm a writer. I do that. I'd like to direct, but it's sort of like hasn't lined up yet. That's all.
I'm sure. I think you'd be good at it from all your background, and I just get that sense. Your
Thanks.
Yeah, your sensibilities, and I've done a little bit, and I was fortunate because the first experience I had, I've directed a lot of theater. So that was kind of, gave me that foundation, which is great because you can keep changing it and fixing it. And it's like, and watch and go, well, that worked. Well, that didn't work. You can put it in front of an audience and then go, oh, and go back and change it. So theater is like a great place to kind of get your feet wet. But then I directed, I don't know, about 6 episodes of a half hour drama, oddly enough, a procedural in Canada. What ended up being great was that the DP on it had just come off of a season on Hell on Wheels, because they were shooting that up in Calgary also. And so a bunch of that crew came over and we worked with them. And so the DP he'd been on like one of the Star Trek ones, like not the first one, but Next Generation Voyage or something. And, so the guy had a ton of credits, and I was really nervous because it's like, oh shoot, I haven't done this like on screen besides some student film stuff, whatever, and I went, oh, and he was so sweet. He's like, you have everything you need to do this, everything you need to know. And,
oh, wow.
And he was just, we just talked through stuff, and anything I wasn't sure about on the technical side, he'd just go, okay, well, great. How about if we do this and this and this? And it's like, yeah. Or I'd come in with an idea and go, I have this and this. And he'd go, okay, well, how about blah, blah, blah. And, just kind of help take care of me. I've walked a lot of first-time directors who are actors through it, like on things like Star Trek and stuff. So it's like anything. It's the people you have the opportunity to surround yourself with. And
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you have at least the same background I have. So.
Well, and also I think, it's always getting the job is always the harder part.
Direct, it's like people come to me and go, yeah, well, why don't you do another series? And I'm like,
exactly.
Why exactly. That?
Oh, right. You should win the lottery. Go win the lottery.
I mean, it is a challenging business, and it is always looking for your next job. I remember reading one of David Niven's books, and he talked about being he was in an airplane coming back from his time in World War II, serving. And he said he was in the airplane with Jimmy Stewart, both of them had an acting career already, and then they served in the military.
They were both pilots, weren't they? Yeah.
Could be. And he said on the plane back, Jimmy Stewart kind of looked at him and went, "Do you think I'll ever work again?" But
Yeah.
don't we always feel that way? Each job you finish, you're like, wonder if I'll ever work again.
Oh, it's always, yeah, you never know. It's the only business I know of that you can have a successful run of 10 years and have it be against you, where when, no one watched JAG in Hollywood or New York. So it was like, it was a big hit, obviously. Same with Waltons or Little House.
Yeah. Where
it's a big hit in the middle of the country, but on the coasts, it just sort of was like, oh, the family show. I went to an interview after I just finished JAG, and I was interviewing for a casting person who had cast me in things prior. And they go, Patrick, where have you been? So I did 10 years on a TV show. It's like, you're in the business. You don't know that? And it's like, it's sort of like if you're not available to them, they don't care because they need somebody for their show. So it's not the same thing. It's not like, like people think like, well, you were on a big TV show, you should just roll that over. Unless you have there's a couple of people that are extremely lucky that'll work with like a David Kelly or David E. Kelly, and he likes somebody, so he'll put him in another show. Or you work with a producer that just continues to use actors that they get along with and that they like. That's fine. I think that's great. But unless you find yourself that type of director, producer, creator, and you guys get along, it's not like that happens to everybody. And so again, it's sort of like you got to make your own way. And I don't know about you, but that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast that I started, was because it was like, I just want to be creative. And it's like, no one can stop me. I got a phone. I got an internet connection. And so, you keep busy.
Yeah. Same thing. I went, well, I love the autonomy of it.
Yeah.
That because, yes, I love that people love watching it and they enjoy my content, and the people who don't watch it, that's fine.
Right.
But I'm not doing it because I got to make a living off it, or I've got, it's just an opportunity to be creative and to reach out to people. This will be an interesting one for me because you weren't on the Waltons, but
right. Thanks for that.
Hey, I would have hired you. I could think of a couple of parts that I would have preferred having you do to the person I had to work with. But that it's to see whether they respond because of the familiarity of the two shows. And because I just said, oh, you should do a segment about all the people who did both shows. And I'm like, I just don't know that I have the bandwidth to want to do that amount of research. So how long? I mean, you have fabulous production value. Much, yours is a higher level of production value than mine. I mean, my editor does a great job, but I just haven't,
I suffer from the tech nerd quality of like, it can be better. Yeah. Oh, what piece of equipment do I need? Oh, how do I do that? So it's something that's more of an addiction than it is a predilection.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it too. It's the freedom of doing something that's creative, that no one's, cracking the whip for you to crank out another one. And that's why I think the better ones, the better shows or better, pieces of content on YouTube or anywhere come from people that you're interested when you're doing it. Otherwise, it does become, something that there's no life in it. And that's no fun on either side, making it or watching it.
Yeah.
Well, I also learned it from Michael, back in the day. And I told this story, I may have told it to you when we were talking, that it's a longer story, but Mork and Mindy was really popular. Little House was on, and I was talking to Michael one day about how popular Mork and Mindy was. He goes, that's great, but in 50 years, they'll still be watching Little House. And, Mork and Mindy, is a flash in the pan. And I took it as offensive then because I was a big Mork and Mindy fan. But now I see what he was talking about, which is, it's not like it's bad. Mork and Mindy is still great, but it's not like Little House or the Waltons or something like that, where the lesson being that fads are great. And, Mork was a fad. Robin Williams wasn't, but Mork was. And you can go chase those fads like people do on TikTok or YouTube and maybe have a success here and there. But if your success is fad based, you have no control. If your success is your point of view based, like yours is, then it will consistently continue because it's your point of view, and no one else can have that. No one else they can try to copy it, but it's not going to be the same.
All right. Yeah, that's good points. All right. Well, I should let you go. You have been generous with your time, and it has been.
Oh, it's been really fun. No, it's like I'm so glad that we had another chance to talk. And what's so fun, as you know, when you're hosting, whether it's a party at home or a podcast, there's all these host responsibilities that I didn't have to have on this conversation. I didn't have to think up anything beforehand. I didn't have to worry about any questions. I didn't have to do any of that. So this was really fun.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I mean, I do nominal notes, I do a little research, but I just like to, to a great extent, find out things I didn't already know or, learn about.
Isn't that wild? You'll talk to your friends who you are friends with, and you'll learn more about them when you interview them, like as in a format like this. I find I know more about my friends after they've been on the show than I've known them for 40 years. And it's like, really? I didn't know that. So
those aren't the conversations we have in day-to-day life, so it is fun. Thank you for joining me for the conclusion of my conversation with Patrick. It's been a real pleasure to have him as a guest. I didn't realize how much we had in common, from being child actors to doing successful family shows and then working our way into what happens after you come off of a successful show. So I hope to see you next time for more behind the scenes of the Waltons and more Ask Judy. Thanks for watching.